Alright guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video we have a 2008 Toyota Avalon, and customer called me out here for a overheating concern. And the more I talk to the customer, the more information I'm getting out of it. So what I'll do is I'll go over some of the things that I've checked so far, starting with this right here. So I removed the cap, and when I inspected this, the spring and you know, the cap that's supposed to keep the pressure was actually all down there. So I took that off. So this cap is definitely damaged. I went to scan the car and it would say VIN failed. It would not scan. So I'm gonna get the scan tool. I'm gonna hop back in the car and show you guys that. Okay, so right over here we should have communication with the vehicle. All right, so if I go, I choose Toyota standalone diagnostic, and this is the first issue that I noticed. So when I go to automatic scan, let me turn this fan off because I don't want this battery to die. If I do a system scan or a VIN number scan, so VIN reading failed right over there, and I know the glare with the GoPro is horrible. So if I go to crank the car, nothing happens. I do get the voltage reading up here. So this key is also aftermarket, and the customer also told me that he went to jump start the car, and this is what everything started happening. He went to jump start the car, jumped it backwards. He took it to a Toyota dealer. They replaced the fuse box. He also said they replaced the ECM and things like that. So then I checked the CAN bus wires right at the bottom, and I checked them with the voltmeter, now with the oscilloscope, and CAN high is usually around, you know, 2.65 to around 2.7, you know, 2.68, but it should be around 2.7 and 2.3 volts. So CAN high 2.7, CAN low 2.3 volts. I was getting 3.5 on CAN high and 2.8 on CAN low. Let me see if I can get those again and show you guys. Okay, let me get the pins here. So these two should work. Could get a different one as well. Here, I'll get a red one, and actually this one's bigger. Okay, these two should be fine. I'm not too worried about the colors. I'll get the meter out here. We'll hook up one over here, the other one over here. So chassis ground pin 4, right? So we're gonna hook up the pin 4, and if we look right at the top here, pin 4 is over here. I'm gonna hook up the black cable. I'm gonna disconnect that. It should be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So that's a chassis ground right here. And these pins are not going to spread it because they're the same size. I checked that. And then if we go to pin 6 should be CAN high. Let me turn the key. Okay, so both are connected. If we look over here, we get 3.5. And if I go to CAN low, which is pin 14, 14 should be 16, 15, 14 right over here. Then our CAN low is 2.7, 2.8 volts. All right, now here is the interesting part. I started, you know, looking around, and customers telling me something about the ABS. So I said, you know, I'm gonna have to check what's bringing the CAN bus down. So I disconnected the ABS module here. We go back, let me cycle the key. So we got a CAN low of 2.48, which is roughly what you will see when you're on the field. and we got a can high of about 2.5. So the can high at 2.5 is a little bit low. Usually I've seen them around 2.65 to 2.68. They're never quite 2.7. May have seen that once or twice. And so this is where we're at. So when I crank it, you know, we get to about 2.6. All right, so this is about where we're at, and the battery is draining just a little bit, so they may be part of the issue as well. All right, now what I want to look at, you know, I want to scan the car with, and I wish I had a breakout box right now. I don't have a breakout box. I need to invest in one. Okay, we got communication. All right, and we can see that we're reading up here. So if I scan the car now, we did pull up the VIN, and I want to verify this with the vehicle. Okay, if we look over here, 302447 is the last few numbers. 302447. So we're able to communicate with the ECM now, which means the ECM should be okay. I don't know if this has laser cruise. I don't think it does. I'm gonna put others, and with or without smart key. So I don't know if this car has a smart key. I tried it before with the smart key. I'm gonna try it now without a smart key and see what we get. Another thing I noticed, so our check engine light is on, which is a good thing, but we got a blinking. So we have 2 faults in the immobilizer control unit. The glare is horrendous. So we have fault in the immobilizer unit. Let's see what faults this is. ECU is a theft deterrent system, determining whether it should enable or not the control unit. So let's see. Unmatched key code. All right, so 100% this will cause a car to not start. 100%. What I want to do, I don't know if this scan tool is able to do anything with the key. I may have to do some research. So let me actually take a screenshot of this. I may have to do some research if I can do it. Immobilizer code reset. All transponder codes in case of losing all keys. Okay, I don't want to do that. Key registration. Okay, let's try it. Okay, it says remove the key, insert it back in, and turn the ignition on, which I did. Our ignition is on. We got everything in there. Key registration failed. The inserted key is not registered, not a registered master key. Insert a master key into the cylinder. Do you want to try again? So this is a problem because we don't have a master key. This is the only key that the customer has. Okay, so remove the key, which I did. Back in there, and we're going to turn the ignition on. Yep, so it cannot do it. Let me see if there's anything else to erase code. See, I don't want to really do that. We'll clear all registered immobilizer keys except the one you're using. Transponder code will fail. So let's try it. I mean, the guy needs, you know, he needs a key regardless. So I just want to try this. it has failed, the ignition is on. So yep, clearing error, so it won't work. I think we for sure need to get a key made for this car. So ignition switch is on. Permit start not good. So if you pay attention right here, master key and sub key both are unregistered. And permit start is not good. So this will cut out. I'm not sure on this vehicle if it cuts out the injector pulse or if it cuts out spark. Maybe both. I'm not sure. Different serial number. We got DTCs. All right, let's try erasing the faults. We're gonna try erasing these faults. That's weird that it did not. The fact that it did not set a code right away, it should if the key is not matched to the vehicle, because we don't have anything from these other ones. Now the other issue we have, once we plug in the ABS, our engine control unit goes away. So I'm gonna go back in there, I'm gonna plug in the ABS and see what happens. Okay, the ABS is plugged in. So totally different issue from what I got called out here for. Right, so I came here, initial diagnosis fee. Then you know, we found out these other issues. The original concern was just the coolant. You know, the car was overheating. Again, I don't know what's going on with as far as that goes. I just need to make sure now why the ABS now it should communicate because it's plugged in, and then the engine should not communicate. So let's look at live data, see if there's anything for CAN communication. Stop lamp switch, I just want to see test mode normal, off, off, off. I want to make sure that the number of DTCs 1, ignition power okay, wheel speeds can't really test those. So it is responding, which is good. Now I have to see whether the CAN wires are somehow shorted together. Shouldn't, but let's see if I'm able to actuate it. ABS motor relay. Okay, let's see what fault code we have with this one. CAN communication fault. So we had no CAN communication. Well, that's the fault that's there. No CAN communication. So on top of the key issue, I want to see what is shorting the CAN block, whether it's the actual control unit itself, which I think that is the case. I think the ABS module is probably shorting out the CAN block, because once I disconnect it, then the short is no longer there. So I wonder if we're gonna have a communication issue with the engine control unit, considering when the ABS was plugged in, I could not read the VIN, and I think we might have a communication issue with the engine control unit, which I'm gonna pull up a wiring diagram after and see what talks to what, and sort of go from there as to checking those lines. Okay, a short while after, we can communicate with the engine control unit. Oh, see, the engine control unit just went exclamation mark, and it's unable to communicate. So I wonder how it communicated the first time. See, now it's not responding. I wonder how it was able to communicate the first time. So now it says no response for the engine control unit. Let's pull up a wiring diagram, see how they're connected to each other, and go from there. Also, it's never a good sign when you see this. Oh, looks okay. This one's destroyed. Okay, I've got a printout here of the computer data lines. Right over here we got instrument cluster, data link connector. Okay, now what I want to pay attention from this data link connector, skid control ECU. Behind right side of dash. So this is what I want to pay attention to. So this, some sort of connector there. Then we got behind right side of dash. So these are the CAN communications, which is the faults that we have. We got one. And then CAN high is over here. So behind right end of dash, I guess we've got a whole bunch of control unit, a whole bunch of connectors. And the connector that I want to go after would be A44. Okay, so A44 is for both CAN high, which is a black wire, and CAN low, which is a white wire. Okay, and it's connector A44. That's what I want to check. So let's find out where connector A44 is. I got a picture of the connectors, and they're right over here. So this one here is A44. That's one of the ones I want to check. Right over here. I'm not sure if you guys saw that. Right over here, A44 should be right on the side here. Either here or from the inside. Maybe fuse box might have to come off. I'm gonna take this cover off here, and hopefully it'll give me enough room to be able to check those connectors in the back there. Okay, here I have, this is what I wanted to get to. Right over here, these should be our CAN wires, I think, on this side, right here. This is what I wanted to look at. We got one big connector here. A whole bunch of wires. Okay. Let me see which one's which now. One other test I wanted to do, you know, was to check the resistances. The way I am hooked up to the car, the key's disconnected, and I'm hooked up to pin, you know, CAN high and CAN low together, so 6 and 14, and I'm getting 123. Now this system has two 120 ohm resistors, and the reason this is a problem is because when you know, when two 120 ohm resistors are hooked up together, we should see 60 ohms here. Let me go and actually disconnect the ABS module again. Okay, let's disconnect this. That's good. Now it should, yeah, so it should stay at 123. So what I'm checking now, there's a ground over here, so I'm just attaching to ground and I'm going behind the connector to see what I've got. I'm at 2.548, 2.486. So very lightly I'm gonna see if we got, I'm going to the side of the connector, 12 volts. So we got two 12 volt wires, and I gotta see what the diagram is as far as that, but I don't think, because the ABS does turn on. My worry is with the CAN block wires. Let me see which pins those are. I front probed at pin 11, which is CAN high, and I'm getting 10.98 volts. Let me go turn the key and see what happens. Okay, so key's on, ignition's back on, because that is a problem. 10.98, no good. That will definitely, again, so right over here, 10.98. I'm hooked up to the ground, and CAN high is 11, CAN low is pin 25. Let me find pin 25. 25 is the second to last one. I lightly went in there. We got 0 volts. Huh. So is that what's bringing the CAN down? 25 should be a white wire. Oh, a lot of white wires here, so it's kind of hard. Yeah, so something's going on with this, because we're getting 10.97 for CAN high and no volts for CAN low. CAN low is 15 and CAN high is 26. So 26, 15. Let's check the voltages there. So right now I'm at 26, which should be CAN high. and we get about 2.56 volts. Let's go to can low, which is 15. So I don't know what happened with this. Should be right over there. Should be at about 2.3. .4. Okay, I got my scope hooked up and I'm gonna pay attention to see how these signals are. Okay, so that save as PDF. Okay, I'm pretty sure the ABS is connected. Let me disconnect the ABS and let's see what we get with the ABS disconnected. I disconnected the ABS. Let me cycle the key. So this looks okay in my opinion. Let me try to get to, yep. So that looks okay. I'm calling a bad ABS module on this one. Still getting 123 ohms of resistance. So these should be in parallel. So it should be about 60 ohms. But one of the resistors is inside of the ABS module. So you know, I don't know if any ways to really test that. So I'm gonna call a bad ABS module, and he also needs to get a new key programmed to the vehicle. New ABS module, new key, and this car should be good to go. The guy actually bought an ABS module from a junkyard because, you know, like I said, he had issues with this before he called me, but he got the wrong one, so he needs to go return that. If you guys have any suggestions, anything that I could have done different testing this, so if there's something I missed, please let me know in the comments below, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.